resume.
I've got secret sides in here.
Ooh.
Ooh, blurred out.
Secret what?
Sides.
Sides, audition sides. My dad's had a voice audition the other day, and he left his sides in here.
Cool.
But I just was like, that's not a
Drink responsibly. Drink responsibly, kiddos.
Yes.
Okay. And I drank tonight very responsibly. I made a risotto, poured a little bit of white wine,
There you go.
and then I had some of the white wine.
Always cook food if you're planning on drinking.
Yes, that's responsible.
Always have Josh cook you food if you're planning on drinking.
I'm okay with that.
Have hummus.
Have hummus.
Yeah, you can't cook. Have
snacks.
Hummus.
You got snacks. Mm-hmm. Bread and hummus. There you go.
Bread and hummus.
Good things. Hello and welcome back, one and all, to the Hidden Realms channel. I am your humble GM, Joshua MacGregor, and I am joined, as always, by a group of awesome people. Say hello, awesome people!
Hello, awesome people!
Huzzah! Ladies and gentlemen, people of all varieties, this is the final episode.
Is it?
Yes, it is. I swear it. This is part 4 of the increasingly inaccurately named 3-part one-shot. And so we return to the fires of Reyara, to the aftermath of the end of the previous session. Atlas, you are pulled back by your glyph and into this room. You see Tamlin's eyes are glowing with a sort of white tinted with pinks and purples, sort of arcane power of some description. The pupils are sort of like colored over. You see Bug is here in deep emotional distress and frustration, and doesn't look like he's going to be okay to continue in any way. Tamlin is obviously doing something else magical, reaches out a hand, restores you to full hit points. It seems effortless to him. And there's a moment, and yes, Bug returns, describes that the pyromancer got away. Tamlin says it is in hand, and then just let's go for a second. Okay. So, we're going to have to intercept the pyromancer. They are going to the spaceport, likely to try to escape. There will be security there enough to hold them up so that all of you can rendezvous from the shipyard and from here. You can obviously get there quicker, but I would wait for backup. What's going on? His eyes color over again. And then he just yells, just screams out, just no. And it reverberates in your head and in your ears and in the room. And you almost see like dimensions fracture in the corners of your vision. And Talon just rises to his feet. This was not the deal. This was not the deal. Grabs you, and you feel this yoink of dimensions shifting you in space, and you are standing with Becca and Aurelei, looking at the complete and utter destruction of the shipyard you were just fighting at. Splinters are in the process of falling from the sky. Becca and Aurelei, Tamlin teleports in with Atlas. You have just escaped the ship, but did not see Ilani make it off. And a jet stream, a high pressurized hydraulic jet of water tore through the ship and completely obliterated it. The waves begin to churn. Clouds begin to cover the sky. Aurelei, you feel your emotion dip into sorrow against your will or wishes. What's everybody feeling in the wake of this event?
Right?
What's that? Sorry.
We can look for
Him, right? Or Aurelei, you can go under the water and he'll be okay. We'll just Heimlich maneuver or something. We can.
Aurelei just starts screaming. Yeah, she's just screaming. No words there. She doesn't seem particularly responsive.
Becca walks up to the edge, between the where the building and then the water starts, and she dips her whole head in the water to try and look for him. And
Make me a perception check with disadvantage if you'd like.
Okay.
DC 15.
Perception. That's a 7.
The water is full of the debris of the ship, and the murk of the water and the dying light make it impossible to make out any specific body.
Well, of course she dips her head back out. She's like, well, of course he's an elephant, so he's gonna start singing. So we have to act now, guys. We need to where are the potions? We can look for him. I'm sure once we get him above surface, he'll be fine.
Seeing Becca kind of start freaking out kind of snaps Aurelei back into it a little, enough to kind of cast, she's going to cast message. She's just going to say, Ilani.
Nothing.
Ilani. And knowing that with no response, Becca.
No.
We can go down and look, but he's not down there. Not alive.
He can't have just evaporated. He's there somewhere.
My hand on your face and my other hand on your shoulder. We'll look. All right?
There's no time for that.
You could talk. You didn't see.
I did. Tamlin looks, and the water continues to grow chompier and chompier. You can't see detail, but there is a luminescence beneath the waves, and storm clouds rumble overhead, and it begins to rain. Tamlin said, the Aurelei and I are going to calm the Kuchiomara. You 3 stop the pyromancer, or all of this was for nothing. Get to this port.
You won't hurt the Allmothers, will you?
We will calm them.
It was the same thing as before with the speakers.
There's no time for words. You feel a download of information into your minds. He just kind of just sends it out. It's a little inelegant. And yeah, it causes you momentary discomfiture, but you understand what's happened behind the scenes here. The shipyard was attacked. Tamlin suspected something and needed proof. He hired you. You found the connection leading back to Priestess Yola. He went to her and he made a deal. His deal was, let the Erzuli, let the Anaran Assembly try this our way before you before you go this route of destruction and hatred. The Priestess Yola agreed, and both of them were watching separately via scry to your battle on the ship. And Yola decided that when the pyromancer escaped you on the shipyard, that was it. You're back in your bodies. You feel, you hear more projected sounds coming from your left and your right going off, and understand that Yola is not attacking here. She is attacking everywhere. She is going to destroy Ventlam now. She is going to summon more Kujal Mara, and the entire city is going to be destroyed. Tamlin is saying that the Erzuli will calm them and keep that from happening. Here's the choice I'm giving you as players. You have time to do one of two things.
Oh, Jesus!
You can go after Priestess Yola, who is responsible for the death of Alani and this attack which will theoretically destroy the city if it's not stopped. Stopping her stops the attack on the city, gets vengeance for Alani, is going to be done without proof, and it's a citizen's arrest, and will likely inflame the people who she represents and further her cause. If you go after the Pyromancer, it is a symbol of the unity between on and off-worlders, which hurts Princess Yola's cause, and stops the Pyromancer, who was funding the whaling of the Kujal Mara on this world in the hopes of further dividing the people. However, without solid evidence to go back to Priestess Yola, and even with it, legal systems being in place, she could be tied up in legalities for a while. The likelihood is that she will never face justice for the death of Alani. Unless you want to split the party, you have time to do one thing. I will leave that in your hands.
May I, before we talk, because I know Becca, logic-wise, she would do the latter, but her gut instinct and her anger wants to do the former. I wonder if I could roll
to see what you would rather do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 1 through 10, you go after Yola. 11 through 20, you go after the Pyromancer.
Okay.
Or you would like to do that, one of those things.
Yeah. That's an 8.
Okay. So you're feeling emotional. You're feeling...
I'm fucking angry.
What about Atlas and Aurelei? How are you guys doing?
What do you think, Atlas?
Atlas is absolutely terrified of this guy, the Pyromancer. Like, she is burnt, like her direwolf form is burnt to shit down one side. Her shifter form is not much better, and her human form kind of carries the scarring, but not as bad. Like, she just faced one of the things her grandparents was like scared of, and she didn't come out of it too well. And then to be like taken back, healed, sent back again with it like almost so quickly for her, she's just really disorientated and scared. I don't think she could see. She would want to get revenge on the pyromancer for hurting her, and she would do her family proud by going after him. But she's home. This is home. And I think she will probably more likely go for the first option, because this is what she wants to do, is protect home.
Do I believe that Tamlin isn't going to resort to killing or harming the Allmothers?
Roll me an insight with advantage.
Thank goodness for advantage. I'll say that. Because otherwise it would have been a natural one.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so instead it's 16.
Okay. I'm going to narrate a thing. And then tell you the result of that. Tamlin walks to the water's edge and looks down, presumably at where Alani's body lies somewhere beneath the waves. And there is not a look of confliction, but almost a look of grief and determination mixed in his eyes, in his face. And then he raises a few inches off the ground, and this multicolored, white tinted with pinks and purples energy begins to swirl around him. He says, "Everyone, we need you." And several other Aurelei teleport in. You see people extended out, maybe 15 figures in total. He says, "No, we need everyone. Just come." And he reaches up and almost like, and the energy pulsates around him and turns green, and threads of green light extend out from his back and hands, and where they reach out, portals open, and you see the surfaces of a dozen worlds and the cockpits and lounges of several starships, and he pulls from across the galaxy every Aurelei who lives into Reyaran space. And you see Dara is yanked out of who knows where back to Reyara, and then the portals close. All of you feel gravity triple, quadruple as this happens. It becomes physically taxing to breathe. You feel your bones creak and hurt. Becca, you come from a planet of fighters. You come from a planet where survival means everything. And when you see somebody strong, you either want to fight them or get them on side or run away. This is the first time you have ever looked at a being and never had any idea what the fuck to do. This is beyond anything. And as Tamlin lets this light die down and lowers back down to the ground, Aurelei on a 16. The Erzuli are the children of elves and gods. Tamlin, and not good gods. Gods who were world destroyers and tyrants. On a 16, you think Tamlin might be able to save Ilani. He might be able to take out the Pyromancer and Yola and anybody else he wanted to. He could stop all the crime on this planet if he felt like it. Hell, he could stop all the fighting between the Dahiri Empire and the Anarn Assembly if he decided to. They all could. That's what he's dealing with. And not crossing that line in any way, not killing, not saving the dead, not winning wars, not ruling, but still trying to help is the line that the Erzuli walk. He's not going to kill anything. He doesn't have to. He will calm them.
Yeah. Kanapatara. You stay as far away from them as you need to not get hit by anything, alright?
Oh, Mum. Hello? I don't quite know where... What's going...
Just fucking sing to them!
Oh.
Okay?
Alright. Are you good?
Honestly, I could be a little better.
Max hit points.
Thank you.
No worries.
You have 2 hit points.
You gain 2 hit points.
I don't know. Carrie, how are you? Becca, how are you looking?
Well, we said before stream, I have max hit points because my PDF didn't save.
You just feel healing energy.
But Josh felt generous. I was like, you can have full hit points because Ilani isn't with you. His hit points can be whatever the word is.
And you hear the Erzuli, all of them gathered. There can't be more than 30 Erzuli in total. No, that's not wrong. 50 Erzuli in total. Begin to sing, and there is a counter song to the blaring of this death cry of the Kuchu-Amara that is being projected out into the water, and further elementals are conjured and jet streams are shot, but they are deflected, and the city is protected while the Erzuli sing. Aurelei, you regain your joyful mood. Can oscillate between them. Choose which one you would prefer to be in this moment, if you would like to.
I'm feeling very happy at this. Thank you.
There you are.
I'm going to turn towards these 2 and say, "They've got this. They'll deal with this. We need to do our part now. All right? We need to do what we set out to do, that Alani was sent to help us with, to keep us safe from. He's done what he can. But we've got to face the Pyromancer."
So, this is entirely in your court. You can discuss it as long as you want to. It won't take any time in game for you to make
Okay.
the decision between all of you.
And Aurelei, or in fact, she'll say, if you decide not to, if you decide to go after the priestess, I'll go with you. I'll back you up. But I think we've got to do this. What do you think? And I'm fine either way. Just that's where Aurelei's at right now.
Becca has been staring off into the distance,
Just thinking. And trying to be rational, trying to be logical, but just is consumed with so much hate and anger. So she does say, Aurelei, I'm angry. I'm angry. I'm angry at the priestess. I'm angry at Tamlin for trusting her. And I'm angry at myself. I could have gone back. I could have told him.
You couldn't have known that he wouldn't hear.
Sorry, I'm going method. I'm fine.
No, the number of times I have cried in game, and then we've been out, and I'm like, okay, guys, I'm gonna go get some tea. Are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine.
I'm cool. I know, I'm cool. I'm vibing. It's fine.
Love it.
Yeah, I don't think Becca has cried in a very long time. I think even if she needed to cry or was about to cry, she like suppressed it. She's like, I'm a fucking fighter. I cannot seem weak, and I'll just shut that feeling down. But like, so many emotions and information going on that she just, you can see all the tears like fall out of her eyes. Like it's that point where it's just streams, but like they're quiet. She doesn't whimper. Can we guarantee no more people will get hurt if we bring him down?
We can never guarantee that. We couldn't guarantee that either way. I think you know that. I think you've seen enough and been through enough. But we can damn well make a difference.
Atlas, I know it's hard, but do you have any... What are your thoughts?
I hate that you're right. I hate that he needs to be stopped.
If we... When we take him down, that motherfucker is still alive. The priestess is still alive. I'm leaving you all behind and I'm going after her.
Oh, she'll be dealt with. Whether it's in the courts or otherwise. The sirens of Galo Shahal will not let her get away with this.
She nods. And you kind of get an aura of like, she doesn't say it, but she's like, fine. I'll go with you.
Thank you.
I think Atlas will like kneel on what's like left and will druid carve some forget-me-nots by the water.
Oh my goodness.
And then we'll just kind of, because her staff she merged it in the side she was hit, is kind of all crackled and splintered, and she'll put some forget-me-nots up there as well. Just carry on and just quietly agree and turn her back to the water.
Do I have anything of his?
Ilani's?
Yeah. I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Yeah. May I take an opportunity to read Erin's scroll she gave me?
Oh, you absolutely may. Oh, very cool. And with that, we'll call a quick bio break, and then we'll.
Thank you very much. I'm so sorry.
it's all
No,
good.
not at all. Dungeons and Dragons, we return. You take a minute to, you have a little look at that scroll.
I do. What does
You
it
do.
say?
The scroll lists some techniques
Right.
and generally has some properties that are very useful. By the time you finish reading the scroll and trying out a couple of the moves,
Mm-hmm.
first of all, when you hit a creature with an unarmed attack, you may expend 1 key point to make them roll a strength saving throw. If they fail, they are knocked prone. Which means that your
strength saving throw. Fail. They knocked prone.
in theory, not in theory, a prone creature, you have advantage on attacks against.
Great. Prone creature. I have advantage on attacks.
On attacks. The other thing that it does is permanently raise your dexterity score by 2.
Damn.
As in, like, the 18, not the 4 modifier.
It raises the 18 to a full 20.
To a 20.
Which means you have a +5 to your dex, which means you get a +1. Like, you add...
yeah. I've got 5
Stuff.
modifier
Yes.
and 20 score.
Yep. And
Just dropping- oh, this is the legend. Oh shit!
which means that when you attack, obviously you'll be adding +5 instead of +4, plus your proficiency to your attack rolls, and you get additional point of damage whenever you hit with an unarmed attack as well.
That's pretty cool.
Ain't it just?
Fabulous.
And you've decided to go after the pyromancer.
We have.
Okay.
Well, I don't want to speak for everyone, have we?
No, that's what you decided. So,
Okay, good.
here we go. I will move over to Owl Bear. Currently, we're looking at a green field. That is not where we are. In fact,
Gaster, please! Bring in the cake!
In fact, we are looking at a spaceport. Of the 2 boss fights, you've chosen this one. I had prepared both. It's 2 different maps.
Damn.
Oh, do show us the other map when we're done.
I'll show it to you now.
That's
Sure.
beautiful.
Just flexing on
Like
us.
would've said when they were little.
Oh my
Pretty.
god, that's such a cute map!
I know.
I said, oh god, that's really cool.
Those fountains were gonna come alive with water elementals.
Yeah.
That's pretty! But we didn't choose that.
You didn't choose that direction. You chose this direction.
Ha! We didn't choose the nice, heavenly-looking one. We chose Deathport.
The only person I don't have on there is Atlas. If you want to grab your token.
I see them. The pyromancer.
The pyromancer.
It's not letting me scroll.
Not letting you
Okay,
scroll. I can do it for you if you need.
That's alright, got it now. It's just a bit funny. Being on my phone. Oh, Wolfie. Boink.
Okay, there you are.
Aww.
There are a bunch of guards, and you see as well.
Guards better be on our fucking side.
Well, let me paint you a word picture here, as well as show you the actual picture here.
Okay.
You head to the spaceport. By the time you arrive, you see a a rather enormous molten hole has been bored into through the metal gates and walls of the spaceport as the pyromancer just burned their way into this space. You see burned, charred corpses littering the path as you follow through to where a small ship is being protected by a uh, a technological laser barrier. The guards are all burned to a crisp.
Come on, man.
And these other figures that I've put on the map were all bounty hunters who were vying for that bounty on the pyromancer's head and happened to be in the area, and all of them have also been killed. The pyromancer looks badly injured,
Are we
having
allowed
just...
to know? Are we allowed to know how many hit points they have?
I absolutely will not divulge that.
You can try.
You absolutely can try.
Badly injured is like quarter of their hit points, a third of their hit points. Look at his face, see how he reacts.
The pyromancer fought you and then went on and fought a bunch of other people, is what's happened here. So the pyromancer looks not great. You see that most of the clothing is burned away at this point, and you're looking at the back of this person as they start to like limp their way towards this spacecraft. You see a metallic skeleton has been fused and bolted into his spine, and metallic like veins have been like ribs have been put into him in order to allow him to keep his shape. As you can see that as time has gone on and more fires come out of him, he's looking barely human anymore. Human only in shape, really. And it seems almost like the fire that is raging out of him is consuming his body.
Good.
Yeah, absolutely. This is all good for you.
Well done, sweetie.
And you guys enter around there. He's gonna make it to around here before. Actually, no, he's gonna make it to there, and then I'll get rid of the barrier because he fucks up the barrier.
Spoilers.
He destroys the barrier. And you guys rock up to about there. Is there anything you want to say? Do you want to bandy words before? I've banded to you what your move is here.
I want to surprise. I'm imagining we've talked about this before we're going, so it's fine if we can chat about this.
Yes.
I want to surprise him.
Okay.
I want to surprise him with death. What do you all think? So you have chosen death.
So is your intent to have tried to sneak up on him and fuck him up?
Well, what does everyone else want to do?
I think
think it does-
enraged Atlas is actually going to snap her staff. She like sees him and grips it just so tight it just snaps. And she's just like, I don't need this to kill you.
And he turns, and you see, instead of eyes, two burning bright orange coals of flame with little flickers streaking off of them. You survived. I'm going. You can't stop me. Need to get home.
You're not making it home.
Then neither are you. Roll initiative!
Oh, yeah!
May I ask, are we indoors or outdoors?
You are.
Is it like enclosed space?
It is. It is enclosed space up to. You can see where I'm pointing. Like up to here.
Okay, so that's outside.
This is outside. Yeah.
And may I ask the weather conditions?
Extraordinarily thunderous.
I love when a druid asks that question. Fuck yeah.
Wait, I don't know if it matters. Which circle of druid are you?
Moon.
Ah, I was once a circle of the moon druid.
I am
In a
Moon
different
Moon,
campaign.
the moon druid.
Moon!
Well, actually, her full name is Moon Moon Moon, the moon druid. It's Atlas Lupin Lunaris, so Moon Wolf Moon, the moon druid.
This is completely not relevant, but my druid's character is called Oda Torbury, which both mean elf. So I literally
Elf.
named my druid, my Shadakai, my elf, my dark elf.
Yes. Moon Moon, Moon Wolf Moon. She's not a werewolf, she is a moon wolf. And she likes the moon.
Moon.
The
Moon,
moon!
moon, 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 moon. And she may have
Aurelei.
moonbeams, so
Oh! Aurelei, you need a silly name. You need a memey name. Not that Becca Sanura is a silly name.
I mean, it's a pun
Why is it a pun?
yes.
because something that's oral, Aural, is relating to hearing, and Lorelei was the name of a siren slash rocks that a big rock that would lure sailors to their death slash sailors would crash into and drown them.
That's a pretty good name.
Yes.
I punned it.
As usual, everyone puts extra thought into the names of their characters, and I just make noise.
That's what a good chunk of my characters are. I named one character. Now, granted, Alwyn's name had a meaning to it. There was a reason she got that name, but her last name, because she didn't really have one, but the only one she could kind of sometimes take would be Galanadel.
Hmm.
And then my next character, so I had Alwyn Galanadel, and then I had Gwen Shanadel.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that I had named my character just the prefix of their last names and the first letter of their first names was the only difference.
They're cousins. It's fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, tangent.
No, I love this chat. It gave me exactly enough time to do all of the writing and
shit!
stuff that I needed. No, to do initiative.
Okay,
For
fine.
the combat that we're doing. The first to act is going to be Atlas.
Woo!
I can't tell you how upset I am that the Pyromancer rolled as low as he did on his initiative.
Is it lower than me? Because if so, that's really sad.
You'll find out.
Yes.
Becca, you're on deck.
Atlas is gonna move.
Means you're up next.
Oh yes, okay. I was
That is
very
confusing when we're
confused.
in the spaceport.
I was like, aren't we all technically on the deck?
Oh, the fire troll, the BB. Just so you were aware of what happened to the fire troll. The fire troll saw it was raining, went, "Oh, that's no good," and burned his way into a house that collapsed on top of him, and then set alight, and he was very happy.
Oh, good.
Aw.
My heart is full.
There you go.
Good job.
Now I'm gonna kill you all.
But BB the fire troll is happy.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. Atlas is going to move here, directly in the pyromancer's line of sight. I'm gonna bitch. And I'm going to call lightning.
Oh boy!
4th level.
Oh my god, that's insane.
So a storm cloud appears in the shape of a cylinder that's 10 feet tall and 6 foot radius, centered on a point you can see with it directly 100 feet directly above you. I'm going to do it directly behind him, in between him and the fighter jet. So it's about 65 feet away from me. So it's outside.
Oh, fantastic! Absolutely. What's the radius on that again?
So cylinder is 10 feet tall with a 60-foot radius.
10 feet tall with a 60-foot radius?
Yes.
60?
Yeah, a storm cloud appears in the shape of a cylinder that is 10 feet tall with a 60-foot radius, centered on a point you can see within 100 feet, directly above you.
Okay.
The spell fails if the point in the could not appear, for example, if you are in a room that cannot accommodate a cloud.
All right. So
That sounds like a DM that's a bit thrown off.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60 feet. That's the cloud.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you got him.
Well, yeah, if he's within 5 foot, and because the outside is stormy conditions, it gives me control over the existing storm instead of creating a new one. And under such conditions, the spell increases by 1d10. I'm doing it at a 4th level, so that is an additional 1d10. Can he please make a dexterity saving throw?
That is a 19.
I don't know what that's against, but that probably works.
Against your spell save DC, so it's going to pass.
Yeah, my spell save DC is...
He'll take half of this.
Yeah, so he's taking half of 5d10s.
Whoa!
Yeah. She's pissed. She is pissed. I can't find my d10s. That's one.
The pyromancer lives for another day because Atlas can't find their d10s.
8, 10, 14, 15, 24, 26, so half to 13 points of damage. Lightning damage.
Yes. Paint me a word picture. What does this look like as you call the lightning?
So Atlas, broken staff, kind of just disregarding the floor, just walks straight into his line of sight, just kind of moves her arms up, and she can feel the storm around her, and she just kind of projects, and it's like this lightning crackle from her into the storm, and her eyes just go white.
Oh my god.
And she's a bit like Storm. And she just controls the weather outside and just brings down this lightning. Does that also affect the ship he's going to try and get on?
Yeah. It does. Absolutely it does. So the ship doesn't have fucking active shields. So it's just got its hull. So it's got its hull, which has hull points.
How do hull points and hit points relate, Josh?
So when a creature deals damage to a ship, the amount of damage that they deal is divided by 10, rounded down. So
1-10 ratio.
It's a 1-to-10 ratio. This is a fighter. It is not a very powerful vessel at all. It's got 8 hull points. You'll do 26 points of damage to it. Divided down becomes 2 points of hull damage. This thing's at 6 hull damage.
Damn.
So you do 25% of the work to bring a spaceship down with the lightning that is called.
Oh, that. Now I'm rethinking my fighting tactic.
She's just standing there, like, crackling.
You crackle, and the lightning, and you just see this, like, the whiteness of the lightning, almost fully obscures this person, and all that you see is the charred pieces of flesh, and there's just like a black outline surrounded by white light. As you call lightning, very awesome indeed. Hellish Rebuke. Absolutely. The Pyromancer is going to burn brighter, is going to expend 6 sorcery points to upcast Hellish Rebuke. So casting at a 5th level, but using a 2nd level spell slot, which is a thing that they can do. It's a homebrew thing. That's going to be 7d10 of fire damage.
Absorb elements?
Absolutely, you can absorb elements. Second reaction is going to check the distance between you. 1 sec. Oh, no. Oh, no. He's not within 30 feet of you. He cannot counterspell. No! No!
She learned this from last time. She ain't getting that close.
You tacticked me.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Well, 21, 28, 33 halved to 16 points of fire damage to Atlas. That is the first reaction spent. Okay. Sorry. Anything else for your turn?
A movement, a bonus action of actions. No, I'm just going to stand there knowing he actually can't do anything else and kind of be a bit like, I learned. Fuck you.
Yes, so you call lightning, and he retaliates with this inferno of fire, and you absorb part of it. You interacted with a flurry of magical interaction on the ship, and know that you are almost a match for him on your own. And now you have the storm on your side. Becca, that's your turn. Aurelei, you won't be next in the initiative, but you are on deck.
Okay. First, obviously I see this and I'm a bit like, And so she says to Atlas, am I okay to walk through there?
Yeah, you're free now.
Okay, cool. So she... hang on. Let me just triple check the maths again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Do I use a bonus action to dash?
You have recharged your feline agility if you so wish.
I have, but also I'm bearing that in mind. But I think I'll just use a bonus action for now. Dash. And I will do my first unarmed attack, and then I'll spend a key point to do 2 additional attacks.
Wait and see if you hit on the first one.
Ah!
You're more than welcome to do that anyway, but just see if you hit, because you get 2 attacks just on your attack action anyway.
It's dexterity, right? Modifier?
So your attack bonus is dexterity modifier plus proficiency bonus.
Oh, so that is a 10. That's a 24.
24 absolutely hits. Do you want to resolve that attack first and do some damage?
Yeah! What's the dice I use again for that? Oh wait, no. It says on there. 1d6 plus 4. Right.
It'll be plus 5 now because your dexterity modifier's gone
Because
up.
of my dexterity! Excellent. I will change that for the sake of my brain. Right.
There you go.
And it also would have been added to your attack.
No!
What did you get?
I got a 6, so that's an 11!
Oh!
I think so, yeah?
Oh!
Plus my modifier.
Oh! So your
So 6 plus
first
5
hit,
is 11.
gee whiz! Your first hit is insane.
Well, Becca is also pissed. So
Absolutely. Now you get a second attack as part of the same attack action. So do you want to? You know what? He's gonna react. He's going to wait.
wait, am I able to?
No, he's going to react.
Okay.
So this is his second reaction. This is a
Right.
response to getting hit in the face. Unless you have something you want to add to that attack.
I just want to triple check that there's something that I can do to. No, I don't think so. Okay,
Yeah, you good?
hit me. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe don't hit me, but we'll see.
He's gonna do the same thing that he just did. So going to spend an inordinate number of sorcery points in order to spend a second level spell slot to Hellish Rebuke. Can I get a dexterity saving throw?
That's a D20, right, with my modifier.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And proficiency, I think, is a monk.
That is a 16.
16 is... wait, is the 16 gonna do it?
Please.
Let me just quickly check. 8, 14, 16 exactly beats his modifier. So you're gonna take half of. Wait, I didn't even ask Atlas to make a dexterity save because you absorbed elements. So could you make? Sorry, Daisy, could you make that dexterity save now?
Yes, of course I can.
Mhm.
Kindly.
Get my paperwork, 'cause I'm old school. What's my dex?
Yeah, I think I might just print off my character sheets in future, considering I've had some PDF saving troubles. So
My dexterity is a 17.
You didn't take 16 points of damage. You took 8.
Oh, thank you.
No worries. So
is that the same? No, sorry, carry on.
no, that's for the previous one. So
Yeah.
Daisy took half and then half again. Or Atlas rather, just doing so well, just absolutely wrecking my shit.
You're doing amazing,
You're
sweetie.
doing so well.
Oh, thanks, Mom.
And then Becca's ruining my shit as well. That's 35 halved to 17 points of fire damage to Becca.
Jesus Christ! Right,
But that was only your first attack.
that was only my first attack. So that's a dirty 20.
That's gonna absolutely will hit.
So I rolled a 5, so that's an additional 10 damage.
Oh my god.
Becca's pissed.
And now if you want to spend that key point and do a flurry of blows, you absolutely can.
I will, of course, can.
Please do that. No.
I got an 18, so that's a 28.
Proceed.
This is so funny. Oh, that's the 5 again, so another 10.
Ah! No! My boss!
The last one. Oh no! That's a 14?
14 does not hit.
Oh! That would have been so good! Oh, well,
You dealt 31 damage.
Monks, man.
Paint
In
me
this
your
house?
picture. Describe your martial prowess to me.
No, did I kill him?
No, you did not
Oh.
kill him. But describe your awesomeness.
Okay, cool. Well, when people say, "Oh, describe how you did this," I'm like, "Oh my god, that's
My
usually
apologies.
like."
My apologies. Usually that's a killer, but I'm just like, that was too cool. Tell me how cool it was.
Okay, so Atlas, there's the cool thunder, and so I do like the superhero. I'm alright to walk through that, right? Like typical Avengers being like,
Oh,
like a sassy quick. I'm alright to go through that, right? Yeah, you can. Cool. Air high five. And so so then she like proper cheetah like runs
and does the dash action, so she is in front of him. I'm assuming. Is he still facing the fighter? Or
No,
is it the other?
he fully turned around.
Okay. Okay, so she goes behind him, and she is aiming for, like, the back of his head, like, to break the spine. And she just goes all the way down his spine to try and, like, create some fractures.
Oh my
And
god.
endless hit after hit. He just does that. Do I want to do? Do I want to? Oh, you know what? Fuck it. Can I spend another key point to do a stunning strike?
Yes.
Yes! Thank you very much. What do I have to do for that?
I make a con save.
Okay. I'm just trying to see.
Please, God. What do I have to beat? What's your spell save DC or your save DC for monk?
I don't know.
What's your proficiency modifier, if I can ask? +3?
Yes.
Then it's gonna be 16. I've got to beat a 16 on this.
Okay.
I hate that. I get a +3 to this roll. That's a nat 1.
Yes! Sorry, that was really loud. I'm
fucked
so sorry.
me. You,
I'm so sorry.
You have fucked me. You have fucked me.
You are stunned.
Amazing.
You punch him in the back of the head and fire erupts back, and you duck around it, only partially getting singed, and go down his spine in a flurry of blows that temporarily paralyzes him. The pyromancer goes next and does nothing and gets nothing. Does not get his turn in the combat where he needed one turn to fuck you all.
Just gotta do it to him. Just had to do it to him.
And moves on from his turn to Aurelei. Atlas, you're on deck. I'm not gonna get a turn with this character, am I?
No!
Okay.
Oh my god.
So here's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
I am looking at this guy, wanting him just beyond dead.
Oh.
And seeing the metal running through him, the way he almost seems to be filled with coal or something, something, elements that look inorganic to his body. She focuses. Again, lets out just a scream that fills the space. And 10-foot radius, I'm going to position it 10 feet in front of him so that it doesn't hit Becca. Shatter at 3rd level. And I believe, because I did mention that I'd been wanting to do this.
I love that spell.
And you seem dismayed by it, that because a creature made of inorganic material, such as stone, crystal, or metal, has disadvantage on this saving throw. But you know what I'm going to do first, I think? Just in case. Just in case, I'm just going to, first thing I do is bonus action. Bonus action, and I'm going to use a feature of mine called Balulu.
Balulu.
Wait, find it.
Okay.
Unsettling words.
Uh-huh. What does that do?
Just fucking die, bitch. So I'm gonna roll a d8, and we're gonna subtract that from his save. So that's a 1, but he rolls a disadvantage.
Okay.
God damn.
Okay. At
Shitty.
disadvantage, with the -1, that's a 5.
Okay, so I'm
Please
gonna
go
mark
ahead.
off that use of bardic inspiration real quick, and then I'll just roll some damage. And it's gonna be 48.
He had a one-liner prepared specifically for you because you stunned him earlier, and he doesn't get to use it because he's currently stunned.
Yeah. Teamwork makes the dream work, folks. That's at 3rd level.
Yeah.
So it's 48 thunder damage.
Okay.
And you did a con save?
I did a con save.
Yes, I just was making sure that I had said con save. Oh,
Yep.
I dropped that. I didn't need to roll yet.
3 plus 3 minus 1 is 5.
Oh. 16 points of thunder damage. And then I'm going to fly out of his range of sight, and I just am gonna sort of I'm gonna walk because I'm gonna stay on the ground, and I'm gonna move right here behind these barrels. And I believe this little out, like this little
Yes.
wall here, means that he can't really see me too well because there's a wall there. And I'm gonna duck. I can't hide, but I will duck. So if I would like to have any kind of cover if possible.
You have 3/4 cover.
Thank you.
No worries. You're very, yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. You scream. First you say, die, bitch. And then you scream, and the pyromancer, spine having been hit, can't move, just looking at you with his eyes blazing coals of malice and flame. And you scream and shatter. You see this like charred skin crack and fall away almost, and it's just roiling fire and magma underneath. And you see the metal that was holding him together buckles, cracks, splinters, breaks apart, and you see that he starts to lose his form. He starts to lose any semblance of humanoidness. Yeah, he begins to crumble away. Atlas, that is your turn.
Just realized I made a slight mistake with the cool lightning. So if you want to take back the whole points for the ship, because I choose a point I can see within range, and then anything 5 feet in that range.
Got it. The whole points don't matter a huge amount, but yeah, I will say that you didn't deal damage to the fighter. You dealt damage to the pyromancer.
May I ask?
Yes.
Cantrip as a bonus action?
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no to that.
That's fine. I can live with that. So I am going to. The storm's raging on. I'm not going to call lightning. Oh, it's 35 feet. God damn. If I stand up, bear with, I'm going to move myself.
Mm-hmm.
If that's 30 feet,
Yep.
Can I grab him or just touch him at that point?
I will allow you to touch him, yes.
I would like to very much, Lee. So Atlas is just approaching him, full on storm facade, crackling. She is going to grab him, whatever she can grab, with 2 hands, and I'm going to use a cantrip frostbite.
Incredible. When you grab him, and I had forgotten this detail of his thing, so I'm going to retroactively do some stuff. You take 2 points of fire damage when you grab him.
What's that?
Physical contact with this person, it deals damage. So Becca, for every hit you got, which was 3, you take 2 points of fire damage. With that, 6 points of fire damage.
Oh no.
You're okay.
Oh.
You were punching lava.
I'm halfway.
He's gonna die. he's gonna die. Sorry. So Atlas, you cast Frostbite. What is involved in that?
You cause a numbing frost to form on one creature that you can see within range. I'm just going to touch him.
Yep.
The target must make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Okay. 10.
My spell's save DC is 13.
Yeah.
Yes. So I will roll, because I am 5th level, 2d6 of frost damage. And that is 2 6s, so that makes 12.
Oh my god.
You're gonna do him in with cold
Oh,
damage.
you're also at
and a
disadvantage for on the next weapon attack.
There's not
If you
going to
want to
be a
hit me.
next weapon attack. Atlas, how do you want to do this? May I ask Lorelei to come over and Becca to stand in front of him so we're all together? Absolutely.
I'm gripping him, and as I'm gripping him, I'm kind of like pulling him slightly closer towards me, so my hands will just rest like on his face like that, with like cold fingertips just crushing inwards. I don't need to say, like, feel free, you guys, if you want to say anything, but Atlas just remains silent as she is just pure strength of this 6'2" burnt wolf creature is just digging her fingers into his head.
I think actually Becca holds, if with consent, obviously, she holds Aurelei's hand, and like we look at each other, being like, "Alani didn't die in vain."
Yeah, here. I'll
Yeah.
come here. Stand behind you two. I'll hold Becca's hand.
Oh.
I'll do the Legolas standing behind, looking straight into the camera. I got your back. Behind Atlas.
You have my bow.
Yeah. Swear to God, Orlando Bloom looks into the fucking camera in those movies.
I haven't had Lord of the Rings marathon in a long time. I need to do that. Anyway, badass killing pyromancer.
Atlas approaches this stunned, crumbling, flaming monster. Lightning crackles in her fur and in the storm which she controls. It steps out into the rain, reaches up her hands, and the rain becomes hail and begins. Frost creeps up her fur, hand on either side of the pyromancer's head. And I swear to fucking God, because you used cold damage, he doesn't blow up when he dies. He was a fusion bomb ready to go. And you put, I kid you not, I put this one little thing, I'm like, there's no fucking way this will actually come into play. But if they ever use cold damage, like, that's the thing that'll diffuse him. You put your hands on either side of his head, looking down at him, and there are just these burning coals. And you feel the pressure under your fingertips give, and the frost extend into his head, and you hear that crackle of crusting of cooling stone as his body begins to release heat, and his hands become black and jagged and hard on his legs and reaching upwards to his head, and the last things to go are his eyes. And right before he goes, he just says, Esmeralda. And frost covers his shoulders as his eyes wink out. And when you pull your fingers from his head, the body remains a statue of charcoal and molten stone that is cooled in the rain. You have killed the pyromancer.
Becca puts her other paw on the. I'm assuming that Atlas is a bit further ahead, so pats the back of Atlas's shoulder to turn around, and I just nudge everyone for a group hug.
Massive group hug.
I give group hugs, and I do the mum patting on the back and rubbing the back and saying, it's okay, you did it, good. And I'll do healing word, one for each of you. Okay, I'll do I have all my second levels. You each get a second level healing word. That's a whole 2d4 plus 4, guys.
Oh my god.
2d4? Wow!
Strictly better than 1d8.
Well, that's a nat one.
No,
Oh, I'm rolling.
She rolls it.
Oh, sorry.
It's all
I
good.
was having fun there.
Never apologize for having fun. You can roll d4s if you want to. They're just not what you regain.
Next one shot we do, I'm just going to spend the entire time just rolling numbers. Oh, I got a nat 20! Oh, wait, no, it's not relevant.
So, Becca, you got a 9, and Alice, you got an 8.
Oh, thank you.
Pisces.
No problem.
Okay.
May I listen to hear if I can hear the Erzulai or the Kujumara singing?
Yes, absolutely. Make a perception check with advantage.
Thank you.
You're out of combat. I will allow advantage in this situation.
Still need Owlbear Rodeo up.
In fact, we don't. We are out of initiative. We are out of
Okay.
combat.
Didn't know you had anything sneaky up your sleeve for later.
I did have something sneaky. It was that he was going to blow up. He was going to kill you all.
Oh, you know what, Josh? You can go fuck yourself.
Apparently.
And on that note, that's a natural 20 for 26.
Oh my god. You hear the end of this event. The Erzulai had instructed the city guard to spread out and dismantle as many of these speakers as they could. They with everybody in the city deployed, they were swiftly dealt with. The Erzulai protected the city and calmed the Kujialmara. And you hear the end of the song, and you hear just this triumphant swell as all 50 of the living Erzulai sing peace and victory. And you see that the storm clouds begin to dissipate. And blue skies prevail once more.
Is she still alive?
You can't tell that from here.
I was going to say, I was looking at Aurelei, implying, can you find out if she's still alive?
I can't really.
Oh shit. Okay. I didn't know if you could do like the message thing, but like it's fine.
Message the cantrip only works within a certain range, and then sending the spell, I don't have any spell slots left that can do. I have like a couple first levels in 1 second, and I need at least a third.
That's fine.
He's hinted on shattering the baddie.
Speaking of the sending, you hear in your mind, so, Mother, we've just dealt with the situation, sort of confused about everything that's going on. Not super great vibes, but, things seem to be okay at the moment. Where are you? Where did you go? Are you alright?
I'm just fine.
Right.
Hearty and Hale, at the spaceport. Pyromancer's dead.
Oh, you went after a very dangerous fireman.
Yes.
Right. Well, I can assume things went well for you then.
I know you're a clever lad. I've just told you that he's dead and that I'm healthy.
No, I know that much. I'm just like checking that nobody else died.
Oh, there's lots of dead people around. Do you know where Priestess Yola is? Can you ask Tamlin that?
I can do you one better. Hold on for 1 second. And you, like, this doesn't sound like... Dar seems, like, a little bit out of, like, not quite himself yet. Like, he's very Byronic, and he's very clever and witty and wordplay, and
He's
always
just been pulled
has
from somewhere
wine,
across the
and blah, blah, blah.
galaxy.
But he's been pulled from somewhere across the galaxy and found out that his mom was in a pitched battle, and he's just figuring out where he is. So he's much more kind of, even though he still sounds laconic, but he's still very much like, this is him being like present and concerned.
Yeah.
I feel like, honestly, heart and heart, I feel like I am Dara. I feel like how you've been describing them so far, I'm like, that's me.
Oh.
Alberta, you're my mom. No, I'm kidding.
If you ever want to play a game where our characters are mom and kid, I'd be down.
That'd be so cute. Anyway, sorry.
Cute.
Yeah.
Back to the story.
The story. There's a moment of silence, and then you hear in your mind, Priestess Yola is being held currently in Precinct 3 in the Skyreach district. There are several charges which are going to be processed against her. We'll see what happens there. Also being held is one Urin Jara, who assaulted the forgive me, what are they called?
She hurt Hilda, I swear to God.
No.
Assaulted a chicken.
Why would she assault
Rules
a
here in Ventlam. The
chicken?
laws are very protective.
Well, animal cruelty,
Yeah.
I hope, is a legit thing in Reyara. Well, not a legit thing. I hope there are laws against it in Reyara. Sorry, I should have clarified.
I figured that's what you meant.
Yeah. I called them some. Give me 2 seconds, because I had a name for these guys, and it was fun, and I want to...
Why can't you just remember every single name that you've ever come up with in this
Josh,
world that spans galaxies?
Yeah, Josh, up your game, man.
I'll have references for a reason! Yes, the priests, or the priests' sort of assistants and helpers in the temples of the Kujilmar are called song masters. So the song masters
Oren beat up a songmaster?
Yes, Oranjara seems to have assaulted the songmasters of the temple in which Priestess Yola found herself during the attack on the city. There are 16 people with concussions who have been taken to the nearest hospital.
I mean, I know she's. I'm not surprised that she did that. I'm more surprised that she went after Princess Yola in the first place.
I
Sure.
don't have answers about that. Yes.
Could you bring us to the? Could you bring us over to the precinct, please?
Of course. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to fill up, and there's a little pause, and you just hear the mental sound of a glass of wine being poured, and then he appears in front of you, glass of wine in hand, looking mighty refreshed. Dara
Thank you.
Elfref, absolutely
Fine.
like you take the wine glass, and he's like, fine, fair enough. Good thing I brought the bottle, and just pours himself another glass.
That's my son.
You see, Dara Elfref looks like a half elf, but with additional sort of brown feathers with sort of a multicolored edge to them. Sort of like a rainbow edge to the brown feathers. They sort of streak a little bit across his face and along his the backs of his hands that you can see, and he's dressed absolutely elegantly in multicolored. It's based on gold, but there are rainbow sort of trimmings and highlights across, and he wears a brooch of the Anaran Assembly. And
Pull him in for a hug while I'm holding him like this. Oh, hello.
Oh, and he holds his bottle of wine and just like disappears the bottle. It's like, oh yes,
I have to fly up a little to kiss him on the cheeks because he's quite tall, and I am like 4'9". But we've done this a billion times before.
Absolutely, Mother. A pleasure to see that everybody's doing well. Looks around at the bodies, except for these people.
Yes, they were like this when we got here, except that the pyromancer
looks at the pyromancer. Oh shit! That looks. Are those? Do I see 5 holes in either side of his head?
That was our lovely Atlas.
Yeah,
Here we have Becca,
a shifter of Envor, and he will speak to you in whatever language is most native to your people. What languages do you speak?
Common and Merfolk.
You just speak Common and Merfolk. Great. So he speaks to you. You've heard your grandparents speak this language. It's sort of a it's a particular sort of more bestial kind of language from Envor, and you recognize it for what it is. He sort of like does a traditional greeting, and you know enough to kind of go like, yes, I don't speak that. But then like greet you in common as well. Very wonderful to meet you, and of course, would you introduce me to your friends, to your other friend here?
Yes, this is Becca. I think you two will get along.
Becca, lovely to meet you.
Becca Sanura, it is a pleasure.
Lovely. Wine?
I don't drink, but
more than fair. Takes a tiny little sip. Wonderful. How about for you? I'm so sorry. Atlas, would you like a glass?
I don't think I'm old enough to drink.
Oh, shit. How old are you?
Alice is like 15.
You're 15? What the fuck are you doing here?
Oh, you're old enough to drink.
You're allowed a glass of wine with a meal with family.
My father had me drinking at 7, so I think it's fine.
Well, we all know Carnage.
Oh, a
small one. He pours you half a glass of wine.
Thank you.
Generous half glass. So sorry, did you want to go somewhere? I'm sorry. The introductions, I've forgotten what you actually asked of me.
Yeah,
That's-
we need to get to the precinct.
Yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt your wine party, but it's
No,
fairly...
that's totally fine. Most people end up interrupting the wine party because it doesn't really end. Wonderful, wonderful. Yes,
Mood.
indeed. A gentle transition, and you see the landscape around you like blurs, and then like very, very gently blurs, and then smears, and then new colors are introduced, and then it's a blurred version of the precinct, and then the precinct comes into focus, and there's no like jolt like Tamlin did it. It's very, very smooth. It's like your senses had enough time to process it all. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's a busy precinct. There are people running around, and there are a couple of standing holding cells. The old turtle Yola, without her staff, sits in one of them, and in one next to that is Urin, who has a couple of bruises welling up, but otherwise looks pretty hardy. And some police officers who were just like, sir, to Dara. And Dara's like, I don't know, these people know what they're doing. Just let them do what they want.
Pinch him on his cheek. I'm like, it's like way up there. Pinch him on, sir. That's nice.
Oh, mother, please, we're in
Yeah,
public.
he's such a lovely boy. He's been away, traveling, always the traveler.
Researching forgotten languages, in fact.
Whilst they're talking, can I make a sleight of hand to steal keys to the cell?
Oh my god, please.
Oh no! It's a 10.
Okay, but I rolled a nat 3 for a total of 6. So to anybody else, like to you guys and to Dara, it's very clear. Becca just kind of goes behind him and just like, this guy's just like, sure, Dara, yeah, of course, whatever the others like want. And you see here as well, Aurelei, you were reminded of what you saw Tamlin do, and you see the deference that is given to your son, and see that tenuous line that is walked.
Yeah.
Whilst you have that conversation, I firstly want to pop into Urin's cell.
Just fully pop in?
Yeah.
They're standing like they're out in the open, so you opening the door will be noticed. I'm just letting you know.
Oh.
Like it's in the middle of the precinct.
Okay, then change plan. I'll just stand in front of Urin's cell then.
Yeah, you've got the keys in case you want to use them, but you stand in front of Urin's cell. Urin stands to greet you.
Give me a moment, I just want to write something.
Please.
I think Atlas just necks like the glass because she did shots, so she's like doesn't understand quite the concept of just sipping and drinking. So she's like, oh, this is like what I did before, right? And just necks it. And she just kind of puts the glass on the floor, like,
Dara goes, darling, do you, and there's no stigma attached to this at all, would you like me to teach you the difference between a necking wine and a sipping wine?
just like, how tall is he?
He's, how tall do you think, Aurelei?
He's over 6 feet.
Okay, so we're kind of like at eye height. We're kind of like,
yeah.
Just kind of like looks up and down and goes, I will take you up on that offer another time, I think.
I look forward to it. That'll be a good time.
Always good to have both on hand.
Oh, of course, always good to have both on hand, just for whatever the situation requires. That one that I gave you, you might feel a little woozy, depending on your constitution.
This is where we cut back to that clip at the beginning of Carrie saying, drink responsibly.
I didn't, but for bladder reasons, not for reasons.
Fantastic.
Before I talk to Urin, how close is Yola's cell to Urin? I know they're next door, but like
10 feet to the right.
I just want to know if I think she'd be able to hear me.
If you talk quietly, she won't be able to hear you.
Okay.
So Urin stands and approaches.
I'll do it in a second. Thank you for the scroll.
You're very welcome indeed.
We killed the pyromancer.
Made good use of it then.
Hence why I came to say thanks. And to also ask, whatever happens tomorrow, could I... And Becca's like beginning to struggle because of her pride. Are you taking on apprentices?
Tell you what, tomorrow, you're going to let me out of this cell. Come to the horizon line. Somebody I want you to meet. And then, if you're interested, I will happily take you on as an apprentice.
Amazing. And Becca gestures for Urin to come closer.
Comes closer.
I'm gonna... Can I turn down my gain? Because I don't want to, like, scream in the microphone for people listening. Can you hear me okay?
Oh my god, yes.
Okay. I might do something incredibly stupid tonight, and I want you to know, if anything happens to me, you take the lead on what happens next.
So, no, it's just gonna lift up. Becca. Come to the horizon line tomorrow. Meet somebody for me. If you want to, you be my apprentice. Whatever you're gonna do, I have your back. One day. You wait that long?
So Becca nods, but not like in an I'll think about it kind of way. And she like reaches out her paw
Takes your hand.
and I'll shake it. I'll hide the keys for now. And I'll go back to the team.
Fantastic. Some ways down a hallway, you guys just hear, I don't know where I put the keys. Just give me your... No. Well, I'm sure it's not as big a deal as you're saying it is, George. And you go back to the team.
Okay. What did I miss?
I think we're still talking about. I'm just talking about Dara's travels to the guards that we're standing next to, and I don't know if Dara's chiming in or if Dara is teaching Atlas about wine, but I am just singing the praises of my son.
Oh, mother, please. You do this every single time I come back to Reyara.
You always come back with such lovely stories.
Well, only you would think that finding the similarities between old Eorwen and the languages found on Muranar and Rizale of all places would be a fascinating discovery. But do go on.
Oh, tell them about that. And then seeing seeing Becca come back, I will kind of not jump into trying to get my son to explain the specific word he found that might be the root word of this, or did they develop divergently, in which case what was the root word that each of those stemmed from. Rather than doing that, I'll kind of go, we did come here for a reason, and that's to see how things are going with Priestess Iola. What are actions being taken against her?
One of these guys goes, well, at the moment, we're drafting charges, but unless we're going to charge her, we've got 24 hours that we can hold her while we draft these charges. Basically, the idea being that when we get enough evidence for the charges, we can charge her formally, and then we can take her to court. Looks at Dara. You were doing work with Tamlin, right? The three of you was doing work with Tamlin, yeah.
Yes.
Right. So, is the deal basically is that currently that there's nothing on her connected to any of this. We know, but we can't prove anything. You know what I'm saying?
Do you have a notepad and pen?
Substantial. A notepad? Yeah, absolutely. Gives you a notepad.
I do not trust. Someone could be eavesdropping. I don't trust the environment I'm in right now.
It's a police precinct.
I don't care.
Okay.
Oh, sweetie, do you think dropping your police is going to get people to trust you?
What?
Oh.
Now that's... Hey.
You have to admit.
What do I have to admit, miss? What's that?
Not everyone who hears that is going to be very reassured.
What? And why not? What could possibly... We are here to protect and serve the citizens of Ventlam, and that is what every decent police officer does their utmost to do every single day. We're only human and Triton, etc. Right? We do our best. We are people.
I'm just saying.
I won't have you saying bad things about my lads and ladies.
No, I'm sure you're trying, darling. I'm sure you're trying. But the system that you're set up in, that you're upholding, is not... We won't get into it. But, you know.
What,
you can
the
be good
lords
at your
and
job,
ladies of the city, who in turn get their subsidies from large corporations off-world, doesn't sound like a sound system of government to you?
What do I know? I'm a bird. I just look at Dara.
Dara goes, and in your head you just hear, I don't know that arguing with him directly is going to be of much help.
Oh.
But if it helps, I fully get what you're saying. Okay.
Oh, darling, I know you do your good lap.
Yeah, I've yet to meet a non-corrupt government. It's quite insane.
You just pinch his cheeks. Such a
Mom.
good boy. Good thing you get your brains from your mother.
Yeah, that's fair. Dara goes all shy, and then just has a little moment where he's like, and he looks over at Becca, and goes, I don't want to have overheard anything I shouldn't. And I apologize. It's just sort of an ambient thing. It's hard to turn off all the time. I'm getting a strong desire off of you to do a particular thing. Is that something you want answered? Is that something you want to talk about? I can forget that I ever heard it.
You're a person of many powers.
That I am, yes.
Hang on.
While you're doing this, just in the background, Aurelei is just pouring like just a little, like a sampling size of her wine into Atlas's glass, and is like, all right, take this, and this is gonna feel weird, and don't swallow or else you'll get gas. Take this, and you're going to sip, and you're just gonna kind of reverse aerate the wine into the back of your palate.
So I whisper.
Hey, he speaks in your mind and goes, if you prefer to communicate this way, this is very subtle.
Oh, yeah, totally. But now I've set my recording level to this. I'm just going to keep on like talking.
Absolutely. Whisper in your brain.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you able to communicate with those who have passed on?
That question has many answers. I can communicate with anybody who has recently passed on, and some of those who pass on to particular afterlives, which can be communicated with. There are those who don't fall into those categories. Who would you like to speak to?
I want to talk to Alani.
Can I just do a quick dip into your brain?
Sure, go for it.
It's just so much faster. You feel very gentle rifling through your memories. And you feel him grab the identity of Alani, the events of the last day, and then sort of like return to surface level and go, that is absolutely recent enough that I could do that for you, yes.
I don't want to do it here, obviously. Is there somewhere quiet we can do this?
Very gentle transition back to the shipyard.
Sorry, guys, I've completely just like left you.
It's all good. No, all of you come.
Oh, okay.
You are on the shore where the ship was destroyed and Alani was killed. This place has been cordoned off. There is nobody in the area. The waves are cool and smooth. Sun shines above. And Dara goes to the water and puts his glass down just on thin air where it rests, and takes a hip flask off his hip, unscrews it, and pours one into the water, puts it back on his hip, and the mist coming off of the waves very gently forms the general shape of a loxodon.
It is so, like, I don't think Becca realised how hard it would be to see even just the spirit of Alani. I'm sorry. Wait, she says that to Alani. I don't know if Alani responds.
See that this mist figure just moves forward, standing beside you, and you feel just faintest brush of moisture against your cheek. His arm retreats. There are no words, but you feel his presence. There is no blame here.
I want to do everything in my power to make things right. And I don't know if you know what I think I want to do to make things right.
Out of the air floats a piece of fabric, and it blows by, and the little wisp reaches its trunk out and catches it. And you see, floating very gently, a tricorner hat with a feather on it. And this form does like a little half turn, and the mist forms up to a little sailboat pointed out to the horizon.
Wait, is this him like trying to go?
Turns back to you. Roll an insight check.
Okay. That's an 18.
Everything is right.
What does that mean?
You're trying to make things right. Things are right. You did it. It's done. Alani's okay. It's gonna move on now.
Oh boy. Ooh, give me a moment. So Becca, like seeing this, like she accepts this. And she turns back to the group and like she looks at them. And then she looks at Dara being like,
They'll need these back.
The keys disappear from your hand and appear in his.
So what now?
Now, my lovely son sends a message to Aurelei back on Galashahal.
Orena, Granny Orena, how's she doing?
Lovely. Lovely as usual.
As always.
If you could just let her know the individual I was telling her about, who, despite the individual I was telling her about, continued her provocation of the All-Mothers.
I will pass it along.
Tell her we need her, or at the very least, more emissaries higher up from Galashahal. Because if folks here aren't going to bring her to justice, we will.
Understand.
Thank you, darling.
Mr. Alani, been a pleasure to meet you. Good luck on the voyage. And Becca, you've turned back to the group. You feel the weight of a tricorner hat coming to rest on your head.
Dear man, I just stopped crying.
Aurelei's taken your hand at this point, too.
And the form of Alani moves to the ship. The ship disappears into the evening mist. Moves out of sight and is gone.
I'll sing a song as it moves into the mist. A funerary song.
Tara adds a few notes. She will come.
Thank you, darling. I'm just a little worked out.
Would you like a restorative?
Oh, please.
Wonderful. It really isn't any trouble. All three of you receive the benefits of a long rest.
Oh, great.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Thanks.
Dara. Thank you. I needed that.
I was actually going to ask, because I don't think also my PDF saved
The amount of key points I spent, so this is great.
Yeah,
I kind of guessed I spent 2 from what I remembered. But
I think that's right.
yeah. Okay.
Mm.
Sweet.
Now, the barriers around the city are coming down to the best of my knowledge, which means everybody can get back to what they were doing. Mother, it's been so good. I truly do want to have dinner at some point. I did leave my ship careening at still speed through space.
We'll go back and deal with
So
that.
I do think I should probably just maintain the controls just to land somewhere.
Yeah,
But then, are you free tomorrow evening? Is that a good time?
absolutely. Even if someone tries to pull me in for questioning or any of that stuff.
Oh no, that's not
No,
a problem.
it's-
Wonderful, wonderful. Atlas, we will, of course, do a bit more teaching. Well, first of all, I will describe what aerate means. It actually comes from an ancient word from in common, in any case, the Aorwan language, from the first world of men. I could go into it all the time because it's derived from a sub word describing Galohan, which is the animated form of air, which is a primordial force of creation, devoid from Etheria, the light itself. And he just goes into this whole thing, and you have no earthly idea what he's talking about. It's like deep historian trivia.
Oh yeah, but Atlas is like intently like, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm on board with this.
It just says this whole thing. It's like, but I'm boring you. We'll get into that next time. Becca, absolute pleasure.
Absolute honor to meet you.
Wonderful, wonderful. We'll share reading lists next time I'm in town. All right, ta-ta.
Bye, darling.
Goodbye. And you see him disappearing separately from you is equally as just lack of stress involved in it in any way. It's just gentle. It's just and he's gone.
So, what did you think of him?
Oh, he's lovely.
Isn't he just? Glad you got a chance to meet him. I'm glad it sounds like he'll be seeing some more of you guys, and you guys will be seeing some more of him. Oh, please.
I'd be happy to.
We'll go talk to get things sorted, but that's good.
I might stay in Reyara for a bit if that's alright. Where's everyone else going? I don't want to be back on my own yet.
I
I'll be
live
staying
here,
in
so
Ventlam. Yeah, I'll be staying in Ventlam for a bit. Waiting on some other sirens will be coming to Ventlam from Galashahal.
Right.
I'm sure we could get Tamlin to put us up in the Song of Rest again. If not, we can talk to my son's father. And he'll have a place.
No. Let's go back to where it all began, and we'll drink and be merry. Well, you will. I'll be drinking water, but I can get drunk on life. It's fine.
Wonderful. And will Atlas be staying in town as well?
couple of days, yeah. Atlas will be staying around for a bit, definitely for the evening, and then like probably the evening after, just make a slow wander back to her parents and her grandparents and tell them all about it, and maybe learn a bit more about being more defensive rather than just attacking everyone, and be a bit more quiet and just be like control rather than
your grandmother goes, who is a lean, slightly shrunken, only 5.5 feet tall because she was once 7 feet tall. Shifter woman looks you in the eyes and goes, "What, did you not kill? Why defend? Why are you talking about defending when you can rip out the throats of your enemies? What's going on? You okay? Do you need food? You look like you need food. You're pale as a sheet."
I need some food and I need some burn healing.
I'm going to make you a chicken pie, and we're going to tend to your burns. This is all fine. Everything is fine. You're going to be fine. And you'll be talking about killing people with pure attack power again with no time.
Thanks, Gran.
Now tell me about how you killed this pyromancer.
Yeah, this is just like, oh my god. So this happened, and this happened. And lightning.
You did lightning, and then your fingers actually went into his skull?
Yeah.
That's a classic. That's how your grandfather wooed me over.
Oh my god.
Family licensing call dance.
Now, there's no pressure on me for anything to happen. You're living your own life, but if you're at the point where you're able to put your fingers into a person's skull, just know that any good Envorian shifter boy would be very glad to have you.
Thanks, Gran. Oh.
Very proud of you, sweetie.
Just like it just becomes like this shy 6'2", like hasn't even stopped growing yet. Like, oh, killing me, oh, just gosh.
Oh, you're thin. You've got much more growing to do here. And like 6 chicken pies come out of an oven. Everybody, and there's just a huge family of shifters who all live in this enormous house and summoned for a big old meal. The day after celebrations, we bring Atlas's chapter to a close.
Thanks.
Aurelei, you spend the next couple of days in Ventlam. That evening is for the 3 of you, and celebration, and Bug very gently joins. And the next evening is with your son, who safely landed his ship on Madazion, somewhere deep in the desert where nobody will find it.
Live a fast-paced life over there.
Oh, it's
They just need to relax a little bit there. I'm glad to know you.
it's true.
Keeping some distance
Somebody
between us.
some hundreds of years ago trapped all of the water underground, and it's a whole thing, and I'm not entirely sure what the deal is. I'm sure there are interesting linguistics behind it all to discover, but for now, let's just enjoy a nice filet mignon red wine. Wonderful. Orena does arrive with all of the backing and fury of the sirens uh, behind her, bringing the political pressure of Galusha Hall to the hearings. Things will progress from there. Anything else that you would like before your chapter concludes?
No, I think she's gonna take her time in Ventlam to sort of see her son and see these two before they, head out if they decide to head out. Or, she's gonna fly around up way above the city and then kind of circle outward and dip down near the water, over the water, out at sea. And as she does so, she's going to just sort of sing light little trills along to the Kujal Mara while she does it, but just gonna enjoy the water and the wind, and the sun on her skin.
You see little splashes and tendrils of the waves just sort of magically leap and join you, suspended in the air for a moment before falling back into the water. And we bring Aurelei's chapter to a close. Becca, evening of celebrations. Do you head to the Horizon Line the next day?
I do indeed.
Wonderful. Urin greets you when you come in. Says, "Good, you're here. Nothing silly in the evening, I presume?"
No.
Good. Come with me. And she leads you to a back room that's not part of the main complex, but is attached, but not part of the main, 6 stories. And there are some rooms back here. It's sort of like a little attached house, almost, to the main bar. And you go, and there's and she gently knocks on a door. And but it's a strange kind of knock, because her fist goes on the door and she physically moves the door with her hand rather than letting it shift in the door frame. And you've not seen that before. And then turns the knob and opens it. Inside, on a little bed, is 6-7-year-old little Triton girl, who looks very wide-eyed. Looks like she has been crying. Looks very wide-eyed at Orin and at you coming through the door. And Orin begins to speak in sign to the little girl. And the little girl seems to brighten up, and you see that clutched in her arms is a little rainbow cushion that has been torn to pieces by you.
Oh
no! And Orin turns to you, says, "This is Martha. I spent a lot of my life doing mercenary work and fighting, and that was what I liked to do. And one day we busted up a slave ring and found Martha. who cannot hear you. And became evident that I needed to come home. And Aloysius and I have been doing our solid best to look out for Martha here for the last couple years, ever since. Martha thought that a monster tore up her cushion. But it's not a monster. This is Becca. She says, signing to Martha and introducing you with her voice at the same time. Becca has a great deal of talent. Becca was like me when I was young. So I kicked her ass.
I nod. Yes, she did.
Not a monster. Friend. Just a cat who likes to play with thread. And Martha looks at you and goes,
I take the cushion and I look at it and I look back at her. Oh no!
Oh, this is. Oh! I want to know sign language. Becca says to Oren, "Do you mind translating?"
of course.
I will do everything in my power to right this wrong.
And Martha nods and signs something, and Orin just gives a little chuckle, and she gets out of bed and goes under into a little drawer and takes out a little box and comes over with the box, opens it up, and there's a sewing kit inside.
Becca looks at her paws like, oh no.
And she signs something and smiles at you, and Orin says, you can do it together.
I would like that very much.
And with that, we bring a close to Becca's chapter of our story.
Oh!
That is it for Fires of Reyara. Thank you all so much for playing. Thank you all so much for watching. It's been our joy, our pleasure. And we'll see you again for something new in the future. Bye-bye. Take care.